make sure my brakes are applied, make sure I'm in neutral, which I'm not. Now I am. And now, see, now I don't have any air, so you don't hear the clunking noise.
Okay,
That's why you want to make sure you're in neutral, okay? Clutch in, and then turn the key on.
What is this one called again?
Now, this is going to be the parking brake test.
And this is the one that you normally will just verbalize?
Right. Now, you'll perform this test at the DMV, but you're going to verbalize it here, okay? I'm actually going to physically do it so you can actually see how it works, okay? When you're with your instructor next week, your instructor will have you do this test. Okay, but you'll be out on the road somewhere. You're not going to be here in the dirt.
Okay, so we'll at least get an idea of how
Right.
it actually works.
Now, you guys will not actually perform this test here. Okay, the DMV says we can do just the first 5 tests with you guys. But you still have to know
we'll
these
do it
tools.
out on the road with...
Well, you need to know them. Yeah, you're not going to perform those for anybody in our company.
Oh.
Okay? But you need to know them because if you get asked to perform this test, let's say we get pulled over and you're driving the truck and the guy says, okay, I want you to do your parking brake test. You got to know how to do it. Okay? So even though you say, oh, well, they never let me do it at the school, you got to study it. You got to know it. Okay?
And that's when your instructor reaches over and goes,
just they don't want us doing it because it also takes a lot of time to explain it to everybody.
So you're building back up pressure.
Yeah, I'm building my pressure again.
And you're going to do it to 1,000 or you're going to just
I'm just going to 1,000, yeah. I just want to get that noise, the buzzer off.
And it's going to stay on until it gets to 85 or 55?
Yeah, it'll charge itself up.
But I mean, it should turn off at 55?
75.
75, okay.
As long as one of the gauges are below 75, it'll stay on.
Okay.
So this one's already past 75, but it's
your
still on.
secondary.
The secondary, there it is.
There
Okay. I'm just going to let it charge up. Okay, now, while I'm waiting for the truck to charge up, I'm going to do my in-cab inspection. Okay. This is something else you guys are going to need to learn. So, if you turn 2 pages, you go to your next this thing called the in-cab inspection. Well, it says...
Step 2.
Step 2, yeah. Okay? I'm going to start with my windshield. Okay? I want to make sure it's not cracked, it's not pitted, and it doesn't have any illegal stickers. Just describe the stuff. You don't have to go and write a book and go into big detail. I'm going to check my windshield, no cracks, pits, or illegal stickers. That's it. Okay? I'm going to check the seal around my windshield, make sure it's not cracked or pitted. Okay? Next, your paperwork talks about the windshield wipers. Okay? You can talk about the windshield wipers now, or you can talk to it when we get here, to the windshield switch, the wiper switch. I wait until I get here. Okay? But you can talk about it anytime. You can go in any order you want, as long as you cover everything. Okay? All right? But I go like this. I kind of zigzag like this. Okay? I do my windshield. I come out here to this. Then I come across this top part of my dash right here, bottom part of my dash, up here to across the steering wheel, here to the left of my steering wheel, down to my pedals, across here to my shifter, and then across my shoulder to here. Now, when you get in the truck with your examiner, first thing you're going to do is put your seatbelt on. Always. Okay? You don't have to do it today, but just tell me as soon as you get in the seat. Okay, I got my seatbelt on. You know what? Let's go ahead and do it. We'll just put our seatbelt on just so you guys get used to it. Usually I don't do it because the guys go, why are you having them do that? But you know what? I want to do it. Yeah, who cares what they think? Exactly. So, anyway, I just talked about that. Yeah. I'm afraid that I might get into an accident, even though I'm not moving the truck. Okay.
anything can happen.
Hey, anything can happen. Okay, now I'm going to come out here to my, I just did my windshield. I'm coming out here to my mirrors. Set some mirrors over here. I want to make sure. Right here, there's a switch right now.
All right, good, just like that.
Yeah, so I'm going to come to my mirrors. I want to make sure they're not cracked or scratched. I want to make sure they're clean and adjusted. I want to make sure that they're secure and that the frames are not cracked or bent or broken. And they're not loose as well. Then I'm going to come into my truck and I'm going to start with my dash here. And I'm going to look at my dash, my gauges. I'm going to talk about all my gauges here. Okay. Now on our old paper, all we talked about were 3 gauges. The new law says we got to talk about everything. Okay. So I'm going to talk about my oil gauge. Make sure it operates as soon as I start the truck. It rises up within 4 seconds of starting the truck. Okay. I'm going to check my water temperature gauge. I want to make sure that it's working between 170 and 180 degrees. I'm going to check my voltmeter, make sure, and on this truck, our voltmeter is in this digital display. You want to point at everything, okay? Point at everything as you're going. Okay, I want to check my voltmeter, make sure it's charging between 12 and 14 volts. Okay, make sure my RPM and my speedometer are working properly. Okay, I want to check my fuel gauge, make sure my fuel gauge is operating correctly. Okay. I want to check my air gauges. Okay, my primary and my secondary air gauges. Make sure they're functioning properly. I just performed the air brake test for you. Okay. I'm going to come over here. Just checked all my gauges. I'm going to come over here to my switches. Now we're not talking about all the switches right now. All we're talking about is our windshield wiper switches and our headlight switches. That's it. Okay. When I push in my windshield wiper switch, make sure that my windshield wipers function properly. Okay? Make sure they have proper tension against my windshield. Okay? I want to make sure that my blades are not dry rotted or worn down. Okay? When I push this button that says wash, check to make sure my washer fluid functions properly. Okay? You're going to check that washer fluid because when you're driving your truck, you get bugs on your windshield.
Oh yeah.
Okay? If you just hit the windshield wiper, it smears them and you can't see. So that's why that washer fluid is very important. Okay? Now I'm going to check my headlights. When I turn on my headlights, I want to make sure that my headlights come out on the front of the truck. I want to make sure that my high beams and my low beams function.
Where's the indicator?
Okay. I pull up here one time.
Okay, I see it. All right.
Blue light comes on. That's high beams. Do it again. They go off. High beams and low beams work.
I just wonder where the indicator
That's fine. I also want to make sure that my panel lights work on the whole truck. Okay? We don't just say dash lights because it's important that these are functioning as well. These lights, these little white things all light up at night. Okay? If they don't light up, you don't know where your headlight switch is. You don't know where your washer switch is. Okay? So that's why these panel lights have to work. Okay? This is my dimmer switch. Okay? Make sure that the dimmer switch functions properly. Okay. I talk about all that the minute I turn on my headlights. Okay. Now I'm going to come over here. We don't talk about that. Don't worry about it. But we do want to talk about these again. Okay. The red one is my trailer parking brake. This is my tractor parking brake. Okay. I want to make sure that there are no sharp edges. I want to make sure that they're tight. In other words, when I say tight, that when I push them in, there's resistance. Okay? So I want to make sure they're tight. I want to make sure they're not leaking. Anything to do with air or any type of fluid, always mention not leaking. Okay? After I check that, I'm going to come down here to my heater. Red indicates heat. This little picture right here is the defroster, right? And this is a picture of a fan. Heater, defroster, fan. We don't talk about the AC because that's more of a luxury, okay? But heater, defroster, and fan are vital, okay? If you're in sub-zero temperatures, you can freeze to death,
Oh yeah.
okay? So that heater has to work. The defroster has to work because if it's raining or snowing, you got to be able to see out your windshield. And the fan switch has to operate because that's the blower. That's what's going to move the air. So, heater, defroster, fan, okay? We come across here. We already talked about the panel switch. We don't have to talk about that anymore. Come up here